In this season of The Big Talk, you are going to have access to the most incredible speakers who recently performed at the virtual showcase, which is the culmination of the Big Talk Academy, my 12-week signature speaker training. Be sure to watch every single one of these speakers in this series because they are all equally as inspiring, entertaining, and powerful. And by sharing their important messages, they can change and even save a life. Enjoy. Dr. Olivia Ong is a physician from Melbourne, Australia. She is a medical leadership coach, speaker, and author. Her mission is to help fellow physicians lead more balanced and heart-centered lives by utilizing self-compassion so that they can thrive at work and at home without burnout. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Olivia Ong with Self-Worth Through the Eyes of Self-Compassion.
On one fine spring day in 2008, my life changed forever. I was walking to work when I was hit by a car at high speed. My body was flung into the air, and as I hovered like a slow motion movie, a few thoughts ran through my head. See, a few years earlier in my late 20s, I had ticked all the success boxes. I was working as a resident doctor in a reputable hospital. I was happily married. I had my own house and car, and I had a great network of friends. But in reality, I wasn't fulfilled. I lacked self-worth. Why do so many people who seemingly have it all lack self-worth? Being a perfectionist, I used to beat myself up for the tiniest of mistakes. I didn't listen to my own needs when work got busy. I did my job on autopilot, running around from ward to ward, doing my charts. I even scolded myself for needing to use the bathroom. I actually wish I had a catheter. Then I wouldn't have to stop working to pee, right? As a doctor, I was programmed as a Lone Ranger. I did not seek help because that meant I was weak, not capable, dare I say not competent. My Lone Ranger programming made me feel isolated, disconnected, and helpless, which is exactly how I felt flying through the air after being struck by a 3,000-pound vehicle traveling at 40 miles per hour. I landed with an earth-shattering thud. I had a spinal cord injury. I lost the ability to walk. Being a patient on the other side of the healthcare system, the days in the hospital were challenging and an eye-opener for a doctor like me. This time, I really did have a catheter. I felt like a pincushion with drips on my arms and a feeding tube up my nose. I had never felt so vulnerable. For months after my spinal surgery, I used all my willpower and tried my best to move my legs day in, day out, but I couldn't. I felt defeated, so broken, so helpless. I felt such intense grief and loss following my injury. Will I be able to walk again? Will I ever be a doctor? That was my identity. That was all I knew. I'm such a burden to my husband. Will he leave me? Will I ever have kids? If you have suffered a loss or been through a traumatic event, you know how easy it is to blame yourself for your accident. How it feels to have everybody to look at you with pity, to feel sorry for you. It makes you feel sorry for yourself. My self-worth, which was already low at that point, plummeted to the bottom. I so badly needed to walk again, not only because I wanted to be mobile, but mainly because I wanted to have my identity back, even an identity that lacked self-worth. One day, I heard about Project Walk, a center for spinal cord injury recovery in San Diego, United States. At first, I thought that the state-of-the-art technology was what was going to help me, but after spending 3 years there, I realized that my experience at Project Walk taught me a far more important life lesson. self-compassion. See, my experience to learn to walk again was the exact opposite of my life as a resident doctor prior to my injury. Instead of being on autopilot, wishing that I had a catheter to not think about going to the bathroom, I had to be mindful of each step I took. Instead of being a lone ranger struggling to seek help, I connected with fellow spinal cord injury survivors, bound together by our common humanity and our common suffering, being spinal cord injury. Most important of all, instead of being a perfectionist, beating myself up for every mistake I made, I learned to accept myself for who I was. Mindfulness, common humanity, and self-acceptance. These are the three pillars of self-compassion. And these were the things that gave me self-worth. Not walking again, and definitely not the initial success I had earlier. After 3 years spending 5 hours every day doing physical therapy at Project Walk, I learned to walk again. I was over the moon, ready to tackle new challenges. Research indicates that self-compassion leads to increased productivity. Self-compassion allows you to remain calm in the face of failure, rejection, and criticism. You experience high well-being and are more productive and more successful. Self-compassion also reduces stress because it activates our soothing system, which leads to greater feelings of well-being. Slowly but surely, my self-worth started coming back. I passed my board exams in rehabilitation medicine and pain medicine. I went on to have 2 beautiful children whom I adore. I became a formidable force in the lives of my family and friends. I also became influential around my medical colleagues who eventually learned to respect me. Most important of all, I learned to respect myself. I rebuilt my identity that has self-worth through self-compassion, and so can you. Self-compassion is not limited to helping you heal from medical traumas. If you're working in a 9-to-5 job, feeling trapped and overwhelmed, if you're a stay-at-home mom juggling homeschooling, 3 kids in the pandemic, and feeling unsupported, isolated, and frustrated, if you're a carer looking after a disabled loved one and feeling burnt out, if you are any human being who feels completely overwhelmed, self-compassion can help you feel more balanced and fulfilled. I'm going to leave you with a simple self-compassion exercise right here, right now. The next time you're being unkind to yourself, put your hand over your heart and take 3 deep breaths. Much like cuddling a newborn baby, this will give you a renewed feeling of warmth and joy. It only takes 10 seconds, but it could save your job, your marriage, or your life. The sooner we each develop self-compassion, the sooner the world can heal itself. Thank you.
If you desire to be on the virtual showcase stage, hop on over to thebigtalkacademy.com and register now for my 12-week signature speaker training, where you can become certified by the Big Talk Academy and perform on my virtual showcase stage. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button and notification bell, and definitely share your thoughts in the comments. I will respond to each and every one of you. Big love.